Hi everyone. So I am still very new to this and I need to see if I can try and work out how I can share this with the Facebook group. Hi there. Okay, so what I am going to try and do is just see if I can swipe up and share it. Or if someone wants to share it for me, share the link, that would be really, really helpful. Can someone do that for me, or should I try and persevere to see if I can work out how to send it, or let me see. Yeah, I cannot see any way that I can share it. But okay, so I'm going to just have to start coloring. And we'll go from there. And so what everyone wanted on the Facebook group was to do the sky with the clouds in the background. So I've taken an image that I've already colored, and this is Ella Faye, and I thought that I would show you what you can do after you have colored an image to give her a background. Okay. So the three colors that I'm going to use mainly is B00, B00, and B01. And I'm going to start by adding my lightest color from the bottom, which is going to be where the horizon is, and then I'm going to work towards the darkest. Thanks guys, thanks for sharing. Okay, so the biggest tip that I can offer you when it comes to coloring the sky is to keep your direction all in the same direction. So, and because it can be difficult to keep everything nice and smooth, you want to try and keep it in one direction, keep it nice and wet, and work fast. So work from the image and then flick towards the edge, or work from the edge and flick into the center. And I'm just going to keep on doing this, and I'm going to be going over this later with, I'll explain later, but I'm just trying to keep it wet. So you need to excuse me because I am nervous. This is very new to me doing this live, but I hope that over time I will get a little bit better. So I'm just turning her around, and I'm going to start from the other side, and I'm coming in and going out. You want to make sure that you've got enough ink in your markers as well, because you want it to be nice and wet. So by keeping your strokes all in the same direction, you'll find that you get a smoother blend as you're blending everything together. Okay, so I'm just still going over it again. You can actually tell that this marker is a little bit too dry, but I am going to persevere. Okay, so I'm going to come in now with my B00. There we go, that's better. So I'm keeping everything in the same direction, and as you can see, it makes it easier to blend everything together. Keep it nice and smooth. And the reason that I actually do it horizontal rather than up and down is because when you look at the sky, you can actually see wisps of clouds that would be going horizontal. So if you miss a spot, then it looks like it's just a wisp of cloud rather than, you know, a big stroke or something like that. So I'm going to just start I don't want to put too many clouds in, so I'm actually just going to put some little fluffy clouds at the top here. And how I'm going to do that is just pretend that I'm colouring around a cloud. So I'm going to imagine a cloud just like that. So these are the clouds that would be closer. I'm going to use a colourless blender just to pull back some colour down at the bottom. And you see how I'm just lightly flicking in both directions as I go around the cloud, keeping it nice and soft. So I'm going to come in now with my B01. I'll just make sure I'm not going out of the camera there. Okay, so at the very top here, I'm going to start bringing in some darker shading and just flicking always in the same direction. So I'm just going to bring in a little bit of darker under the clouds. You don't want it to look like great big fluffy clouds. Just want to give the idea or the impression that you've got some clouds into the background. Okay, so I'm going to come back now with my B00, and then I'm just going to blend that a little bit more. Thank you everyone for all of the hearts. I've been finding out that that is a great way to show your appreciation. I've been going heart crazy on everyone. So you see how I'm not like doing anything really heavy blending, really trying. I'm just flicking, and as I build on the layers, I'm building texture into the background, into the sky. Okay, so I'm just going to now bring in my colourless blender so that I can just add a little bit of some flat clouds that you might see into the distance. And I'm just going to let the colourless blender do that for me. And again, I'm just trying to get just enough of it so that you can just see it. You're not making it too obvious. Just nice and basic. So one other thing I wanted to mention is that often when you're doing images like this, you'll see that you bring the sky all the way down to the ground, and it's not often that you would ever see that in real life unless you're looking out at the sea. So what I want to do is just pretend that I'm going to try and imagine that there's a little bit of a bush. It's Ella Faye from Make It Crafty, Kathy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a bush. I'm just going to use my G40 and all I'm going to do is just start adding a little bit of a green sort of background just by flicking up. Start covering some of this bottom and pretending that it's like some trees in the back. And then I'm going to use a darker green just along the bottom here. And then I'm just going to extend that a little bit more just to help cover up some of that blue so that it doesn't look like the horizon is right at the base. I might just bring it a little bit even up around here just to imagine that. And then to help push it even further back, I'm going to use a YG91, which is a grey green, or it's got a sort of more of a grey tone to it. Try and help push that green back, and so that we can keep the actual subject in the foreground. So by pushing it back and using a greyer tone, it looks like it's in the distance, further in the distance. I might actually get a grey and push it back a little bit further. Actually, I'm going to use, I've got E43 here, so I'm going to use this brown and just push that back a little bit further. And you see how that helps to separate the actual character from the background by pushing it back. So that is a very quick and basic idea of doing the sky, just a nice clean simple sky without getting too excited about trying to blend everything perfectly. The biggest tip there is to color it horizontally so that you don't get all of your streaks and your lines, and any streaks that you might get is you can pretend that it's sort of clouds in the background. So I hope that that went okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope to do more like these as well. I'm sorry I didn't actually do too much reading. Oh, and everyone, this image is Ella Faye from makeitcrafty.com if you wanted to go and color her as well. I will do I'll do a character next time where I'll color the whole image so that you can all watch from start to finish. Thanks so much, everyone. Please follow me, and then so you can see more in the future. Bye. I'm going to see if I can try and turn this off now.